Alright, we're playing some Dark Souls. So, some stuff happened a few weeks back. A lot of people were commenting on some news from the Elden Ring. And I abstained. I didn't make a video. I was too busy playing Dark Souls 3. Made a few different builds. I leveled up some of my older invaders. Did some co-oping, did some Blue Sentinel-ing, and other things as well. And I kind of let everyone else have their commentary on the whole solo host invasions drama. People for it, people against it. You know what's interesting is we play this game every single time, right? When a new From Software game comes out and we know it's going to have multiplayer. And what do? We always apply the logic that we have from the previous Souls game to the one that's coming out. Not that Elden Ring is Souls necessarily, but you know what I'm trying to say. Do you remember when Bloodborne was coming out? What people were doing? The speculations we were having about invasions and how it was going to work. And we did the same thing for Dark Souls 2. We did the same thing for Dark Souls 3. And at each time, we used the knowledge and the experience we had from the games that were available to us to sort of guess and I guess prophesize what the longevity or end game was going to look like when we got to the same cycle, I guess, with the following game. So people are already thinking about, year 3, year 4 Elden Ring with some of these mechanics, which I just find very interesting. This man can't parry a pickaxe. Sorry, dude. So I guess that was just my point of view on it. People have opinions where they think the whole no solo host invasion is bad, and other people think it's good, and other people are just sort of upset we're not going to have that ability anymore to get the solo people. But we don't really know what the game's going to feel like, right? I mean, Bloodborne didn't feel like what we thought it was going to feel like, if you remember. We had no idea. I mean, do you remember how invaders treated Bloodborne at the beginning? I mean, we got the game, we realized, we have the older netcode, we can't invade in the first area, we can't trade down gear. And, listen, I love Bloodborne. I think Bloodborne's great. I could play Bloodborne right now, and there goes my whole afternoon. But I think it's safe to say that most Souls people, or at least fans of Souls 1 and 2, didn't quite take to Bloodborne the same way, and I think a lot of that's because it was harder to play. It was harder to make character builds. You had to commit to the game. You had to go to the dungeons. It took more work, which is why I know some people who dislike Sekiro, because they can't summon their friends to help them beat the game. So they say, well, I like it, but it's not as good as the other ones. Now, Sekiro's good. But I guess you could summon your friends in Bloodborne, now that I think about it, and they could help you get through it. But I don't know, the culture of Bloodborne, I would say, is what I'm talking. It is different than Souls. That's what I'm trying to say. Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 are pretty consistent for the most part. I would say Demon Souls, people try to force the Dark Souls mentality into Demon Souls because so much of the mechanics are similar. But I mean, look at the scene right now on PS5 for the Demon Souls remake, and you'll see that just not that many people play it as actively. It was popular last year when it came out, but I think it's going to be going through the whole Return to Boletaria events that we see for Return to Yharnam every once in a while, where people will come back to it, but it's not going to be Dark Souls 3, right? Dark Souls 3 is the one where it's the most flexible. and everyone can jump into it, flaws and all. I mean, there are things people lament about this game. By the way, this is a solo invasion right here in the catacombs, just to give you an idea of of what my solo invasions usually look like in Dark Souls 3. Granted, every 10 of these you get a cool player, and maybe you have a cool interaction, and they exist, and I'm going to miss them in Elden Ring like everyone else. But be honest, how many of these do you get? This poor guy doesn't know what's going on. Yeah, usually it's one of these. This is just what I get, and I feel bad. I feel like a bully. I feel kind of gross about myself. Just being in this guy's world. He's having a hard time, obviously. You know, Ra's al Ghul. Anyway, what was I saying? But yeah, there's something to be said about just the fact that we don't know, right? Like everyone picks and chooses their lists of things I want in Elden Ring PvP that are broke in 3, and things in 3 that are good that I want to keep. You're not gonna get Dark Souls 4. You know, it's like we're not gonna get that game. We're not gonna get it. It's not gonna happen. I'm sorry to say. It's just not the game it's gonna be. And we have to accept that. And I think the game would be better if we accept it on its own terms. Because it's not going to feel like this, is what I'm saying. It's going to be more like the shock to our system that we had when we played something like Bloodborne for the first time, or even Sekiro, even possibly. It might be on that level where it's gonna feel like a new experience, and the rules aren't going to be the same. And if you're predicting just a long-term game, I guess look to your own habits. Are you still playing Sekiro 2021? Are you still playing Bloodborne 2021? And if the answer is yes to both of those, you'll be fine. If you're still playing Dark Souls 3 and you've retired all the other games and you're still coming back to this one, then I promise you, a year after Elden Ring comes out, you will probably be playing Dark Souls 3. You'll be defending people on the high wall like I am right here. You'll be invading people. You'll be doing gang city fights. You'll be doing all these things. Because I feel like Dark Souls 3 is just, it's the one that did all the things, or enough of the things right where we can all come back to it safely. I mean, until I turn the servers off, of course. But I feel like this is the one that we can count on to just be here. So no matter what happens with Elden Ring, if we enjoy the game, great, but maybe we have more of a Demon Souls approach to the multiplayer, where it's fun for a season, we make a bunch of builds, we make a bunch of videos, or stream, or whatever, what have you, and then we'll go back to Dark Souls 3, or the other games. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't think the fact that you can't invade solo hosts is going to be the issue. I think Elden Ring as a game needs to be seen. I mean, look at this example in the High Wall of Lothric. In bottom of the barrel 2021, I'm defending this host with a pickaxe. This random host who summoned me, because I played the game at low level, against this guy who's invading with his troll armor and his dark hand, doing the same thing he was doing probably week 1 Dark Souls 3, way he was playing Dark Souls 2 and 1, probably the same way. Is that what we're worried about? That's just what I'm saying. It's just there's some things that maybe we're not gonna miss. That's all I'm saying. And maybe it's a trade. Maybe you're one of those people, you want the high wall invasions, and you feel like it's always an option. You can host a fight club there, or it's always fun to fight, the trash invaders. Okay, that's fair. I grant you that's fair. If you think removing all of these options is a problem, that's a fair opinion. But you might not like playing Elden Ring the way you like playing this game. That's something to consider. A lot of people going into Bloodborne didn't quite take to it from Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2, if you recall. There just were people that weren't on board with it. There were people that weren't on board at all with Dark Souls 3, for that matter. And they stayed with Dark Souls 2. And I like the mechanics in Dark Souls 2. And they're still playing Dark Souls 2. Then they'll still say Dark Souls 2 is better. And that's their journey, man. Here's a solo host that I actually thought was kind of fun. I like when solo hosts have the Way of Blue on, at least, and they'll summon in sentinels to fight. I would like something like that, I know, in Elden Ring. If I'm making my own little wish list, I think that's more important than let's say not having a solo host encounter. I think some kind of random appearance, I guess, of an Arbiter Spirit would be cool. That's always been one of the better improvements from the first Dark Souls game. I mean, following the first Dark Souls game, just having that. I also very much liked the system that was in Bloodborne with Covenantering, where if you get summoned by a host who is from a different belief system, I guess you could say, they'll actually come in and they'll realize, oh, you're you pray to a different god than me, or you believe in a different thing than me, so I'm gonna fight you now. That was kind of cool. It added a sort of randomness to summons, which I thought was really cool. That's something I would like to see in Elden Ring. But who knows? Who knows how it's gonna go? That's the thing. I can make my own predictions, and it just may not be what I think it is either. I think we're gonna get a new weirdness, to phrase it a certain way. If the game's good and we all like it, and we're all gonna just be committing to it for the next few years, I'm hoping there's gonna be some new things that we're just not used to. I mean, we're all basing our assumptions on what we have in this game and the other games, but I don't know. What if it comes out and it's got this whole new approach to things that we didn't consider, and it changes the way we want to play these games? I mean, that's completely a possibility, and that's something that I'm excited for. Actually, I'm hoping the game comes out and it's just a refreshing take on the formula from the ground up. I think that would be really cool. Where maybe you don't mind fighting multiple people because there's just some factor in it that hasn't been announced yet or revealed. Maybe the Reset Era guys or whoever does all the leaks just haven't told us the full score yet. Because that's the thing. I mean, you can get leaks, all the live long day, but it's going to be from the perspective of someone who's still applying previous logic to the leaks, right? So no matter what they say about Elden Ring stuff from now till January, just take it with a grain of salt that we're looking at it from a Souls perspective, but not from an Elden Ring perspective. It's like I don't even know if there's any truth to the whole thing with the mounts being part of it. Some people are saying we can't have solo invasions because the way the mount mechanic works, if you summon friends or you engage in cooperation, that the mount system with the horses gets disabled, and that's why a solo host running around can't get invaded, because an invader coming in would randomly turn off their horse if they're just playing the game, and that's not. It's like a fix for a problem that they haven't fixed, right? So for all that might have sounded weird, but you know what I mean. Like maybe how it is in the current in the build, but maybe closer to January they figure out a way to resolve that, right? So it could even be a mechanic that is the way it is because something isn't quite fixed yet. I mean, this game, just look at all the changes that were made to Dark Souls 3 in the last year of development, things that were cut and changed. We had whole gameplay mechanics we were expecting to get based on all those leaks we got, with the whole, you know, coiled sword fragments and all that stuff. These guys are just wailing on us. But yeah, at the 11th hour, we played the stress test. There was even things in the stress test, if you remember, for Dark Souls 3. They had these little shrines you had to pray to, you remember? And then they weren't there in the main game. You remember all that? Like up until the 11th hour, they were changing things. So it's entirely possible whatever we've heard so far is going to be subject to change anyway. They might remove some things. They might add some things. Who knows? There's a lot going on in this invasion. This is the stuff I'm hoping for, man. This is a good example. Just some crazy zaniness, multiple players, multiple invaders. The whole map is a war zone, basically. This is cool. This is what I'm hoping for. When I think of invasions, I think of situations like this, where it's just a no-holds-barred saga, I guess. But anyway, that's my piece. Thanks for watching.